Latest news across Scotland. This is Jambo Radio. A busy street in Paisley had been locked down on Monday the 6th of May after a man was running through the street with a chainsaw. Shouting was heard from one of the houses and a policeman was chased down the road by a man waving a chainsaw in the air. He then threw the chainsaw over one of the garden walls and was tackled to the ground by police. 6 men were arrested on Sunday the 5th of May after a disturbance on Annie's Land Road at the city's Crow Road just before 7:30 p.m. 2 males were taken to hospital with serious injuries. Meanwhile, Kingsway was closed at its junction with Annie's Land Road and Danes Drive as officers carried out inquiries. Locals were told there will be an increased police presence in the area. John Sweeney has been elected unopposed as the leader of the Scottish National Party and is expected to become the next First Minister. In his acceptance speech, he promised to focus on the economy, jobs, public services and the environment, and he also promised to seek common ground with political opponents and said those against Scottish independence should work with us. Richie Soon has said the general election result is not a foregone conclusion despite a disappointing set of local elections for the Tories. The party lost 470 council seats as well as all but one mayoral contest. He said he's determined to fight on. And now for African news. South Africa is in mourning following the tragic demise of actor Mfo Sieben. The 30-year-old died on Sunday the 5th of May in a car accident in Potchefstroom, Northwest Province. Sibang, who was a celebrated figure in South Africa's entertainment landscape, had a career that spanned almost 2 decades, starting from when he was 12 years old, marked by remarkable performances and accolades. And that's the latest from Jambo Newsroom. I'm Andrew Bainey.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage and Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
Need security? Call Alpha One Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074 2526 7909 or send us an email on info@alphaoneplus.com.
You are listening to Jambo Radio. You can now download the Jambo Radio mobile app on your smartphone from the App Store, Google Store, or Play Store. You can now use our Jambo Radio app on your smart mobile phone or device to contact us and also send us your song request. Now it's time for our weekly magazine show, the BB African Magazine.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. We are back in the studio and it's time for BB's African News Magazine show here on Jambo Radio. We are so ready for the show. Monday, if you're in your car, enjoy. If you're at work already, just put it on, maybe lower the dial a little bit, and we'll be here with you for the next 2 hours. We have an amazing show planned for you. Claudia's here. Baron's here. We're all here. We're ready to give you a great show. If you want to reach us, just dial the number 0141 530 2787. That's 0141 530 2787, and just call in with your ideas, your comments, your conversations, your opinions, and we'll be ready to listen to you and take you on board. If you're shy and you don't want your voice on the radio, just leave a comment on the Facebook page. If you want to find us on any social media, just dial Jambo Radio Scotland, combine those 3 words and you will find us. That's Jambo Radio and Scotland, and on all the platforms you will find us. So today we have several news items for you: African history, spotlight, and all the music. And speaking of music, this week's music is actually incredible because we've decided to go old school and bring back all the old school reggae hits from the 80s. So the entire show is going to be old school reggae hits from the 80s, African reggae hits, by the way. So sit back, enjoy, and we're here for you. I'm Benny Briggs McKinley, BB, and as always, I will be your host. To start the show, let's begin, like I promised you, a little throwback reggae hit, and this is Rosie by Blackie. See you in 2.
Hi Rosie, can I have a dance?
No, Ugly, who you talking to?
Well, dedicate this one to all those men who go to party and the girl don't want to dance with you. Okay, can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy, but why? Rosie, baby, you don't want to dance with me. But why? Rosie, baby, you don't want to dance with me. Joa, it is me. It is me. Mr. Blackie, Mr. Fancy. So can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so hey George Kaju. Rosie, Lord have mercy. Diga! Round the mic is King Blackie. I tell you Rosie don't want to dance with me. She first hear me fine but me look ugly. And this is something I telling everybody. Ika! Fret me no fret and me say worry me no worry. Fret me no fret and me say worry me no worry. This girl a Rosie don't want to dance with Blackie. And all me friends they start to laugh and laugh at me just a dance. Rosie, me friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy. Bigger, fret me no fret and me say worry me no worry. We go the party just about at 7:30. I tell you Rosie don't want to dance with me. In front of me friend, she a disgrace me. Me ask her to dance and she give me a show. And in English, he show me no. Say hot and cold, this girl she a blow. Me beg you Rosie, come and dance with me. Can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy. Fret me no fret and me say worry me no worry. Fret me no fret and me say worry me no worry. This girl a Rosie don't want to dance with Blackie. She don't know I'm Nigeria's Mr. Sexy. My friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, Lord have mercy. So if you like this tune, then move up your waist. You could name Janet, you could name Grace. Say move up your body to the drum and the bass. Say each and every man Rosie want to disgrace. Just a dance. Rosie, friends are watching me. Rosie, they will laugh off of me. Rosie, so don't do this to me. Rosie, Lord have mercy, can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching. Rosie, so can I have a dance? Rosie, my friends are watching. Rosie, Well, if people just come and listen this one. See, it's a massive request to all women. You must understand. Well, you have to move your waist and your body to the rhythm section. I just a dance.
That was Rosie by Black. What do you guys know about that? What do you know about that, Chloe? Nothing. What do you know about that, Baron? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm going throughout the show today. I am going to bring songs you have never heard of. Okay, just get ready. Right, first news item. So SMP. So talk about a little Scottish news before we get into the African stuff. So SNP leader John Sweeney has been sworn in as the 7th First Minister of Scotland. He was confirmed in the role during a brief formal ceremony at the Court of Session in Edinburgh. Mr. Sweeney takes office 25 years after he was first elected to the Scottish Parliament. When they say slow and steady wins the race. After the ceremony, Mr. Sweeney, 60, told reporters, "It's an extraordinary opportunity to change lives for the better, and I intend to use every moment that's available to me." And Kate Forbes has returned to the Scottish Government as Deputy First Minister. I called it. As John Sweeney unveiled an almost entirely unchanged cabinet. She replaces Shona Robinson, the only switch from Hamza Yousaf's cabinet. Ms. Robinson, who said she offered to step down as Deputy First Minister, has kept her other position as Finance Secretary. Ms. Forbes said she was deeply honored to become Deputy First Minister. She's also taken control of the economy portfolio, with Net Zero and Energy Secretary Vary McAllen losing the Wellbeing Economy brief. And Ms. Forbes, who has spent more than a year as a backbench MSc after stepping down from government in March 2023, had been promised a significant role in the government after opting not to run against Mr. Sweeney in the SNP leadership. Okay, so it turned out exactly how I said it would last week. Do you guys remember? Mm-hmm. And I remember everyone saying, "Oh no, she's not going to get First Minister. That's Deputy First Minister. She had the Shona Robinson has been promised that. Why would he get rid of Shona Robinson?" But there you go. If you step down, rather not run for an office, and they promise you something significant, what's more significant than deputy? You know, I knew it was going to happen. People said no, but I knew. What do you think, Baron? Good idea?
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I guess it's like she's being rewarded.
And also I think she's being groomed. She's being, groomed for the next step. So if anything happens to John Sweeney, then like Alex Salmon and Nicola Sturgeon. That's what I thought in the beginning. But some other people got in my ear and go, no, she's not going to get it because he's going to give us something big, but not deputy. But I knew she's going to get it. Kyle, do you know anything about what's going on? Makes sense.
It makes sense because
she didn't
if
challenge
they have an
him.
agreement that she's not going to run, then
Why not give us
what am I
anything?
getting in return for not running?
Okay. All right, let's move on to the story we all want to talk about. Harry and Meghan in Nigeria. Baron, did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, they've been, okay, let's read the news and we'll talk about it. So, Prince Harry and Meghan's first trip to Nigeria together might have been called a mini royal tour, but for the fact that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex haven't been working royals for quite a few years. The couple, now California residents, received a warm welcome to the massive African nation on Friday. They were gifted traditional Nigerian necklaces of wooden beads and then treated to a dance routine by students at their first stop, the Lightway Academy in the sprawling capital city of Abuja. There, Harry addressed one of his biggest causes, mental health. He said, "If you take anything away from today, just know that mental health affects every single person," he told the students. "The more you talk about it, the more you can kick stigma away." The visit to Nigeria takes on an added meaning for Meghan, who not long ago said on her Archetype podcast that a genealogy test had revealed she was 43% Nigerian. Depends on who you ask. The couple have both referenced her Nigerian descent since that revelation, and Meghan voiced her hope to dig deeper into her roots. "My daughter Lily looked at me and said she could see her reflection in my eyes. She said, 'Mama, I see you in me and me in you.'" Meghan told the students in Abuja on Friday. "And as I look around this room, I see myself in all of you," she added, drawing a round of applause from the crowd. Harry and Meghan are in Nigeria at the invitation of the country's military, visiting to discuss the future work of the Prince's Invictus Games Foundation. The charity helps wounded service members and veterans through sport. Nigeria has a similar program and collaborates with Invictus. And Nigerians' fashion and traditional dances were at full display on Sunday as Prince Harry and Meghan arrived in this largest city, Lagos, as part of their 3-day visit to the country to promote mental health for soldiers and empower young people. The couple were treated to different bouts of dancing, started from the Lagos airport, where a troupe of acrobatic moves left both of them applauding and grinning. One of the dancers, who looked about 5 years old, exchanged salutes with Harry while high up in the air, standing on firm shoulders. Going with Meghan's white top was a traditional Nigerian ashoke, a patterned hand-woven fabric, wrapped around the waist and often reserved for special occasions. It was a gift from a group of women a day earlier. The couple visited a local charity, Giants of Africa, which uses basketball to empower young people. And there they were treated to another round of dancing before unveiling a partnership between the organization and their Archwell Foundation. What you guys are doing here at Giants of Africa is truly amazing, Harry said of the group. The power of sport can change lives. It brings people together and creates community, and there are no barriers, which is the most important thing. And Harry and Meghan later attended a fundraiser for Nigeria's wounded soldiers who had been wounded in the fight against Islamic extremists in the country's conflict-battered northeast. The couple were then hosted at Lagos State Government House, where Reagan received another hand-woven Nigerian fabric. We've extended additional invitations to them so they can always come back whenever they want to, Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu told reporters. Meghan and Harry wrapped up the Nigerian tour on Sunday, that's yesterday, following another cultural reception and charity polo match for wounded war veterans. How cute is that? So, it's not official. It's their own personal visit. It's not a royal tour. And they were invited personally by the Minister of Defense to Nigeria. They had a great time. I think one of my great dreams in this world is to land at an airport and then there's a dance troupe waiting for me. That happens for so many people. How come it never happens for people like us? You land at the airport and there are people there with your name and people are dancing to receive you. How cool is that?
I mean, like, if you're a celebrity, then...
Not just that. Why can't you just hire people?
Well, why not?
Baron, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever landed at an airport and people are waiting for you and dancing for you to receive you?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It happens to sports people when they win, like, when you go to the Olympics and our team win and they arrive, there are people dancing. Yeah. Why do we dance in Africa? What's that about? What?
I mean, it's a way of celebration, I guess.
That's our thing. Here in the UK, you land and people are like, yay, and they wave the flag and all that. In Nigeria, they're like, people they're just dancing at the airport. It's incredible. So they got like 3 different dance receptions. I'm sure more while they were in Nigeria. Good for them. And it's good to see them happy and out and about. And, people want them to fail. Well, some people want them to fail so badly. And they just keep going as a couple. Oh, they're going to get divorced. No, they're not. Oh, they're going to oh, no, they're not. They just keep going, doing their work, their foundations and all of that. And it's looking like egg on the face for the other team. But, happy for Harry and Meghan. Kai, are you excited that they went to Nigeria for the first time?
And I think it's really nice that she found out her Nigerian heritage as well.
Yeah.
Because it can make you feel like you belong somewhere more. Especially when you're in the country.
But don't mind Americans. All this genealogy, they like it. But when push comes to shove, I'm American. The American first. They like all this. Oh, I'm 10% this and 15% that. But push comes to shove. Yeah. I'm American. Abby, Baron, am I wrong?
Nope.
They don't play with the American stuff.
No, they don't.
And Harry is now a Californian. I like the fact that she only took their prints. She only left their country. She took their prints with them with her when she was going. But I'm not laughing. Good for them.
We are one person.
And she's like, I'm going. No, am I going? Do you want me to stay? I'm leaving. And also, Harry, let's go.
He's coming with me.
All right. So, happy for them. It was great. It was a great outing. 4 days, very successful. Nothing went wrong. Everything went as planned. They looked incredible. The kids they were with, they looked so happy. The soldiers, raised the morale of the soldiers. It was a success all around. They were received by governors. They were received by military personnel. They were received by all our superstars, like our big, even the who was it? One of the traditional rulers, like the really top ones, was there at Government House in Lagos. Then Igbo rulers were there. Everybody was. I was like, wow, Meghan and Harry, they really got the red carpet rolled out for them, which they should anyway. But I'm happy for the wounded soldiers whose cause they were promoting, and the kids for mental health and all. And the children at the high school looked so happy to be taking selfies with them. And it was so nice. And they danced for them. Very, very nice. Okay. Congratulations, Meghan and Harry. I hope you guys get back to California safely to your children. And thanks for coming. Come again. All right. Here we're going to go. What do you guys know about this song? Nothing. This is Avi Edna Ogusi. And this is Rio Vara. Enjoy.
varano que me wajarevie e vare makega e resebelo ho rio varano.
We're back. Okay, this next story, guys, I need you to follow me. It has many moving parts. So just stay with me. Everybody stay with me. We will get there in the end and we'll talk about this. All right? Varun, you ready?
Yes.
Klali, you ready? All right. This is a story of Chema Okoli versus Erisco Foods. It is still ongoing right now, but we need to talk about this. Like I said, many moving parts. Just stay with me. Right. A pregnant Nigerian businesswoman is facing up to 7 years in prison after she shared a negative review of a tin of tomato puree. You heard that right. So Chema Okoli, 39, was arrested and held in a police cell after she told her 18,000 Facebook followers that there was too much sugar in Najiko tomato mix. The brand manufacturer Erisco Foods Limited accused her of making the claim to maliciously kill the product and run us out of the market. A Facebook post, just a Facebook post. The mother of 3, who runs a business importing children's clothes, is now being prosecuted and sued in a civil court over claims that she breached the country's cybercrime laws. Last September, Ms. Okoli shared a picture of an open tomato puree can, saying it was too sweet and asking her followers' opinions on the product. An online spat ensued, with commenters weighing in either to agree with Okoli or to defend the product. The situation escalated when one Facebook user said, "Stop spoiling my brother's product. If you don't like it, use another one rather than bring it to social media or call customer service." And then Okoli responded, "Help me advise your brother to stop killing people with his product. Yesterday was my first time using it and it's pure sugar." That was it. Erisco, an indigenous company, released a statement describing Okoli's claims as untrue and unfounded and petitioned the police to act, accusing her of criminal conspiracy, demarketing, and cyberbullying. A week later, she was arrested by undercover police officers as she attended a church near her home, and she was detained until the following day. She was then flown to the Nigerian Police Force headquarters in Abuja, in the capital, and detained for another 24 hours before being released on bail. It's unclear why Okoli was taken to Abuja, given both she and Erisco are based in Lagos, and the police did not respond to any requests for answers. Describing the police cell, she told CNN, "There were no seats, so I stood up all through the night until the next day. I was thinking about my children who were at home. I was talking to myself. I would think, I would pray. I was completely messed up." She also claimed the police tried to arrest her again at her home in January, despite a restraining order issued by a court barring detention without a court order. While at the force headquarters, Okoli wrote a public apology, Erisco, saying, "I regret my actions and I wish to be forgiven. I pledge that this will never happen again. I undertake to retract all my earlier posts on the matter, and immediately, this is without any compulsion." However, politician Dozie Ikedife Jr. claimed that Erisco's founder and CEO, Eric Imofia, had been in the police headquarters while Okoli wrote the apology, and accused Okoli of absconding to Lagos after her release. Okoli's counsel, Inibehe Effiong, denied Okoli absconded and claimed that she was forced to write the so-called letter of apology. All right, this is where it gets interesting. The Nigerian police force said earlier this month that it had unearthed compelling evidence that she had violated laws in relation to the proper use of cyberspace. Ms. Okoli was reportedly charged with instigating Erisco Foods Limited, knowing that the said information to be false under Section 24 of Nigeria's Cybercrime Prohibition Act. If found guilty, she could face up to 3 years in jail or a fine of £4,000. However, she was also charged with conspiring with the intention of instigating people against Erisco Foods Limited under another section of the law, and that carries a possible prison sentence of up to 7 years. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration released a statement on 29 September confirming that the sugar levels in Najiko tomato mix were safe for consumption. The following week, police charged Okoli with 2 counts of instigating people against Erisco and accused her of violating some salient parts of the Cybercrime Act. Effiong, that's her lawyer, has filed a 500 million naira lawsuit against Erisco and the police on Okoli's behalf, arguing that her right to personal liberty was violated by unlawfully being detained for more than 24 hours without charge. They just picked her up. The lawsuit also wants the company and the police to publish an unreserved written apology to Okoli in 3 national newspapers and on Erisco's Facebook page. However, Erisco has responded with a 5 billion naira defamation lawsuit against Okoli. That's civil this time, guys, not criminal. In which it said in a statement on 19 January that it's to safeguard the brand and the company's reputation, claiming her comment had resulted in several suppliers deciding to dissociate themselves from us. Effiong says he will file a countersuit to this on behalf of his client. Speaking to Open Democracy, he said Okoli should be the one claiming defamation because Imofia, Erisco's CEO, had called her a criminal on national TV, accused her of belonging to a criminal syndicate, and accused her of blackmail. Eric Imofia, Erisco's founder, previously told Arise Television that he would rather die than allow someone tarnish the image he had worked for 40 years to grow. The case has been adjourned to May 28th. All right.
Are they happy?
Kali's speechless.
Are they happy with themselves?
I saw an interview he did on the Rise, the CEO. He was completely unrepentant. He was angry still. He was calling her names. He was like
this
totally
is an obscene
This
overreaction.
is something in my opinion, what he could have done was, what the company could have done was, oh, sorry you don't like it, tell us why, and then use it as a launching pad to promote their product,
or even make a new product, a
now
new version.
People, they don't have to make a new version.
I'm saying,
just
even
say,
if
what
they
don't you
wanted
like?
to, they could say, oh, this one has less sugar than the old one.
No,
and they didn't
it's
even
just
have to do
it was
that.
a Facebook comment. You don't have to do anything. Just say, oh, you don't like it? Why?
Yeah.
Tell us why. Oh, Najiko is this,
Not a
Najiko is that, and
lawsuit.
promote it.
Yeah.
And then the company gets more, because you've already brought it to, rather than say no, there's no attention, there's no bad attention. It doesn't matter as long as your name is on the blogs, in talk. You can use that to your advantage. If they were clever in their marketing, all they have to, oh, why don't you like it? Tell us why, and then promote more things. She's already put their name out there. Rather, they said she defamed their name, and now they're being dragged. They're dragging her, and now people are going, this company is disgusting. I don't want having to do this company. Da, da, da. So there's an own goal for no reason.
They're digging
and then
themselves into
picking
a
her
deeper
up
hole.
at her church, undercover, like plainclothes policemen, detaining her for 24 hours without charge,
And she's pregnant, right?
and then flying her to Abuja. Flying, and then he's still following the case up till today. He hasn't dropped the case till today. It's been adjourned.
Wait, did you say she was pregnant and
She's
they made
pregnant,
her stand
yes.
for more than 24
They don't
hours
care.
in
They
the
don't
jail
care.
because there were no
Put you on
seats?
bail. Well, we're in April now. She's pregnant now. That was September. She was arrested. I know she was pregnant at that time. I'm not sure. I don't know, Baron. What's your take on this?
I mean, it's a very Nigerian thing to do.
To
using,
bully your way, use your power.
Yeah, using the police or the rich and powerful, using the police to
as their personal lapdogs.
And again, why do you care about someone's review where they buy the product with their own money and then they review it? It shouldn't matter to you. What they should have done now is try to make the best out of it.
It was a golden opportunity for them.
Yeah. Just make it like a PR thing.
Yes.
Make her like an ambassador.
Yes. We're going to change your mind. We're going to. He's. I wish I had the tape. I had too many videos in this show. I was going to have an excerpt of the tape where he was doing his interview. My mouth was on the floor.
I watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I couldn't believe it. His attitude. He's quite rough. He's a rough guy. Obviously, I'm trying to see. Okay, someone who is self-made. Okay. Maybe he came up from the trenches, he's built this company. He maybe is not very smooth. He's not a smooth guy. He's not a sophisticated guy, but he's a successful businessman. Maybe he has some kind of chip on his shoulder. He doesn't know how these things work. But doesn't he have people in his office, his company who can advise him?
Exactly.
Nobody?
And he didn't have to go on that interview by himself.
And he was so rough. I'm going to show that to you later on. He was so rough,
I think it was unnecessary.
He wasn't
to have
sorry.
her arrested.
He wasn't. And people saying, "Listen, she's a young lady. It's a Facebook comment." Can you imagine here in the UK, if someone goes, "Do you know how much we insult things on Amazon all the time?" Some people haven't even used the product and they insult the government. Yes. No, you can insult the government in Nigeria at your own peril.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't until you disappear.
They pick you up.
Does free speech not exist anymore?
So
like she can't say,
comment.
I didn't like this product.
She didn't go on a tirade. She didn't take a microphone to the middle of the street and go, Najiko is this. She went on her personal Facebook and said, I don't like this product. That's it.
It's really
and
not
now
that big
she's
of a
facing
deal.
7
They could have even
years.
ignored it.
The police should have laughed him out of their office.
They shouldn't have taken it.
Sir, we have armed robbers we're trying to catch. We have proper cyber criminals. Sir, please don't waste our time. Rather, they took up the case. And they're still, I think that hubris is once you started this,
You can't stop.
you can't stop. You can't stop. Baron, do you see a way out of this for her? I think her lawyer is doing a good job, but do you see a way out of this for her?
Well, if they are fair, like the court is fair,
They'll dismiss the case.
Yeah.
How about the civil case? Who's going to win against who? He or she? Because she's suing him and he's suing her.
Yeah, Susanna, you know. I hope she comes out of it. Like,
I really do. I hope she gets her liberty at least. Let's leave the civil lawsuit. The criminal wise, hope she gets her liberty and she goes home. But that's just deterrence free. Anyone should be able to say whatever they want about anything.
Yeah. It's
About
free
anything.
speech under democracy. Like,
democracy comes with all kinds of commas and
then
brackets.
at the end, they might just say, "Oh, out of court." So it happens. So this is just initial headstrong. Yeah, I'm right. So.
But this man he's not done his company any service at all. He's not.
No,
he's not.
I think people actually had to boycott his product.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The way he's gone about things.
I think prolonging this case has actually been more detrimental to the company than her comment.
It was an opportunity for him to use
like
the
him
opportunity.
Doing all this has made more impact on his product than what she said.
And
in the
like
first place.
Baron said, he come in on the interview himself. He didn't send his PR guy, his marketing guy. No, he came himself on the telly interview and was just spouting craziness. I couldn't believe it.
The way he was talking,
so rough, like so unbelievable.
Like he just came to fight someone there.
Yes, and if he had found her alone in a room, that man would have beaten that girl up.
Yeah.
If they put her in a room with him, he would have beaten that girl up. I understand the company is your baby, and you've nurtured this baby, and now you've grown it. I get it, but there are ways of doing things in marketing, in PR, and this is not the way at all. Chioma, we wish you the best of luck. Okay, moving on, guys. So, Haiti. The African in Haiti, you know that, guys. They're our brothers and sisters, okay? So we're going to be first in Haiti. So Haiti is attracting more believers in voodoo as their gang violence escalates. You know what's going on in Haiti, right? All the gang violence. The president is hiding under a bedsheet somewhere. Everybody's scared and things are not looking good in Haiti right now. Gangs are basically taking over the country. And as such, they brought back voodoo. So, on a recent afternoon, hundreds of voodoo practitioners in Haiti gathered in a small church, in a church, to celebrate St. George, a Christian martyr believed to be a Roman soldier who is revered by Catholics and voodooists alike. They offered him money and prayers in hopes that they will make it through Haiti's deepening crisis. Shunned publicly by politicians and intellectuals for centuries, voodoo is now transforming into a more powerful and accepted religion across Haiti. Why are you guys laughing? This is a real thing.
I know.
Where its believers who were once persecuted as people seek solace and protection from violent gangs that have killed, assaulted, and kidnapped thousands in recent years. Amid the spiraling chaos, a growing number of Haitians are praying more or visiting voodoo priests known as Ougans for urgent requests ranging from locating loved ones who were kidnapped to finding critical medication needed to keep someone alive. Voodoo was at the root of the revolution that led Haiti to become the world's first free black republic, a religion born in West Africa and brought across the Atlantic by enslaved people. The syncretic religion, now that melds Catholicism with animist beliefs, has no official leader or creeds. It has a single god known as Bon Dieu, Creole for good God, and more than 1,000 spirits known as Iwas, some of which aren't always benevolent. During voodoo ceremonies, Iwas are offered everything from papayas to coffee and even popcorn, lollipops, cheese puffs, and a ceremony is considered successful if a voodoo priest is possessed by an Iwa. In recent years, voodoo has been attracting more believers given the surge in gang violence and the government inaction. Cecile Isaac, a fourth-generation Ougan, says he opened his temple years ago in Port-au-Prince. About 8 families in the areas became members. Now he counts more than 4,000, both in Haiti and abroad. It has since become a key ingredient in Haiti's rich cultural scene, inspiring music, art, writing, and dance. It's unknown how many people currently practice voodoo in Haiti, but the popular saying, Haiti is 70% Catholic, 30% Protestant, and 100% voodoo. While voodoo also has countless laws of spirits, Ougujewuj, or God of Red Eyes, a manifestation of the God of War, has grown more significant to Haitians given the recent lack of security in the country.
Wow.
It's always interesting. The more things change,
The more they stay the same. I think desperate times call for desperate measures, Things are really bad. Voodoo has always, everybody's always, there's an open secret that
always.
Haitians practice voodoo. Even the Haitians in America who live in America now, people still look at them and go, oh, if you have a problem, go to the Haitian guy and they'll do some stuff for you. It's something that people talk about openly. But, when the enslaved people came over, they brought their beliefs, their religions and all that. So what they call voodoo is actually just our African traditional religions,
Yeah.
consulting the Ifas, consulting the oracles, we've always had that. So they might call it voodoo there, but actually we say juju. Baron, what do they say in your neck of the woods?
I can't remember.
You know, we all have our versions. You know, Ifa, of course, the Yoruba version, the Ifas and the oracles were like really, really strong, and that's probably where most of it went from. But they're practicing it their own version. But this is something that exists in Africa right now, and even people in Africa are now turning to the traditional religions. Some of people who are disenfranchised with Christianity or Islam. So you might look at it as voodoo or what, but if people believe it and they think it works for them, and now that the country is in turmoil with all the gang violence, if they think, you know, they can you know, consult the oracle and find where their people are, why not?
The spirits are there anyway.
Spirits exist regardless.
Yeah, the spirits are there anyway, why not?
It's the fact that they've mixed it. When in South America, they've mixed their Catholicism with it. That's even in other South American countries, Mexico, Puerto Rico, all over South America, they've taken Catholicism and voodoo, mixed it together and created, you know, they are brujas, they worship Shango, Yemoja, all the Yoruba gods, and then they call it their own traditional South American religion. Like, guys, stop it. You came from Africa, stop it. Stop it. Even you want to say Yemoja, Yemoya, Yemaye, Yemaya, they call her all kinds of names and it's still Yemoja.
It's a remix.
It's a remix. It can be a remix, but remember where it's from. Don't say you created it. You didn't create it.
I mean, all the different branches of Christianity as well. Think of it. The fact that they all came from Catholicism, but no one wants to say.
Oh well, good luck to Haitians. I'm sorry about what's going on in your country right now. I hope you guys figure it out soon. We have problems of our own in Africa, so we send you solidarity. All right, guys, this is Send Down the Rain by Majek for Shek. Yes, I'm sure you know this one, Baron, at least. Yes. See you in 2, guys.
Papa, yo. gonna live long. Oh Lord, 'cause I'm a living man, got a lot of work to do. Send down the rain. Papa, 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 yo, ya, 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 yo. Send down the rain. Mama, 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 yo, yaga, 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 yo. Send down the rain. Yes, I'm a living man, got a lot of work to do. Send down the rain. Child, it's my song and that will make me feel strong. Even though I'm wrong, I'm gonna live long. Child, it's my song that make me feel so strong. And even they say I'm wrong, I'm gonna live long. I'm gonna live long, y'all. 'Cause I'm a living man, got a lot of work to do.
That was Send Down the Rain by Magic Fishek, a blast from the past for sure, but an evergreen favorite. And now it's time for our African travel segment. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our friends at Travelphobia to tell us what they think are the 10 best countries to visit in Africa. Summer's here. Everybody's making their summer plans. Everybody's might have booked yours, might not have booked yours. If you're thinking of going to the continent for your holiday, rather than focus on one particular country like we did last week, why don't we just have a little overview on what we think the 10 best countries are to visit in Africa? And after this, maybe make your choice and book that holiday. Here we go. The 10 best countries to visit in Africa.
Home to much more than just safaris and the pyramids, Africa is both the second largest and second most populous continent on Earth. While beautiful beaches and rugged cliffs line its long coastline, its vast interior encompasses everything from mountains and deserts to tropical rainforests and the Nile River. Home to a vast array of different cultures and languages, Africa offers an intoxicating mix of old and new, as many of its age-old traditions and customs still survive to this day. Here's a look at the best countries to visit in Africa. Number 10. Namibia. Nestled away in the southwest of the continent, Namibia is one of the most sparsely populated countries in Africa. This is because much of it is made up of arid, desolate landscapes and the unforgiving Namib Desert. Formerly a German colony, it only gained its independence from South Africa in 1990, so some colonial-era architecture can still be seen in its capital, Windhoek. Most people, however, visit for its brilliant national parks, which are home to breathtakingly beautiful landscapes and incredible wildlife. In Etosha National Park, for instance, you can catch glimpses of lions, elephants, and black rhinos roaming around the Kalahari. Another popular destination among tourists is the Skeleton Coast, which has lots of spooky shipwrecks dotted along its dangerous Atlantic Ocean coastline. Number 9. Tunisia. Long a popular tourist destination, Tunisia can be found wedged in between Algeria and Libya on North Africa's Mediterranean coastline. Due to its fabulous warm weather and inviting beaches, lots of Europeans come here to lounge on its golden sands and swim in the sea. There is much more to Tunisia than just sun, sea, and sand, however. The country is also littered with impressive archaeological sites that date back millennia. This is because throughout its history, it has been ruled by everyone from the Carthaginians, Romans, and Ottomans to the Arabs and later on French. Of its many historical sites, the stunning Roman amphitheater in El Jem and the remnants and ruins of Carthage are the undoubted highlights. Number 8. Uganda. Home to not only the continent's tallest mountain range and the source of the Nile, landlocked Uganda also borders the largest lake in Africa. While its tourism industry and infrastructure are quite underdeveloped in comparison with neighboring Kenya and Tanzania, this makes its spectacular landscapes all the more exciting to explore. Long overlooked by visitors to the continent due to its tumultuous and tragic past, Uganda is slowly regaining its title of the Pearl of Africa. This is in large part because it is one of only 3 countries in the world where you can see mountain gorillas in the wild. Seeing the majestic creatures up close in the cloud rainforests is an amazing experience and is simply a must when in Uganda. Number 7. Mauritius. While Mauritius certainly takes some getting used to, visitors invariably come away astounded at the incredible beaches, mountains, and waterfalls on show. Located over 1,000 kilometers to the east of Madagascar, its remote setting means it is home to some of the rarest plants and animals in the world. As such, trekking through its mountainous interior really is a treat, as flocks of brightly colored birds swirl above the tropical rainforest canopy. Tucked away among the dense foliage, you'll come across steep ravines, plunging gorges, and sparkling waterfalls. All in all, the volcanic landscape certainly makes for some of the most picture-perfect scenes imaginable. Lying alongside the inviting waters of the Indian Ocean are idyllic white sand beaches, and lots of fantastic scuba diving and snorkeling can be had offshore. Number 6. Tanzania. With so much to see and do in Tanzania, it can be hard to know where to start. The north of the country alone is home to the marvelous Ngorongo crater and the world-famous Serengeti, both of which are must-visits if you want to go on safari and see the Big Five. Here too, you will also find the snow-topped Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak. This wonderful part of East Africa is blessed with a myriad of different landscapes, each more arresting than the last. Just offshore, you can find the awe-inspiring Zanzibar archipelago, which boasts many glorious beaches and is a popular tourist destination in its own right. One of the most linguistically and culturally diverse countries in Africa, Tanzania is also home to some very important archaeological sites that date back millennia. Number 5. Seychelles. Lying some 1,500 kilometers to the east of mainland Africa, Seychelles is the continent's smallest and least populous country. Made up of 115 islands, with the vast majority of them being uninhabited, the archipelago is incredibly beautiful and is surrounded by the glittering waters of the Indian Ocean. While the Paradise Islands are lined with gorgeous beaches, their interiors are quite mountainous and coated in lush rainforest. Due to their remote location, they are home to all kinds of unique fauna and flora, and most of them are now designated nature reserves. Offshore, the colorful coral reefs and abundant marine life make Seychelles an unforgettable place to go scuba diving or snorkeling. Number 4. Morocco. A magical place to visit, Morocco is home to beautiful old cities, medinas, and souks. These lie across the country's scenic Atlantic and Mediterranean coastlines or tucked away amongst the Saharan dunes and high Atlas Mountains. The continent's northwesternmost country has long attracted different peoples and cultures to its shores, and its rich heritage now draws on African, Arabic, Berber, and Western influences. This amazing diversity is on show wherever you go, with Fez and Marrakesh being some of its most popular tourist destinations. Besides exploring the lively Jema El Fna and gorgeous mountain towns, visitors can lounge on one of the country's lovely beaches or head off into the Sahara. Number 3. South Africa. Occupying the southernmost tip of the continent, South Africa boasts some of the best and most well-run national parks and game reserves in Africa. Of these, Kruger is undoubtedly the most well-known and most visited, with Addo Elephant National Park also being a popular draw. Known as the Rainbow Nation due to its multicultural population, South African cities are fascinating to visit, as each of them has its own particular identity. While Johannesburg teems with life, Cape Town is more laid back in nature and is overlooked by the spectacular Table Mountain. Home to towering mountains and arid deserts, South Africa truly is a delight to explore. To top it all off, Both its Atlantic and Indian Ocean coastline are riddled with stupendous scenery and fabulous beaches. Number 2. Kenya. One of the best places in the world to see wildlife up close and personal. For many people, Kenya is the home of safari. Its endless savanna teem with life as lions, elephants, and buffaloes roam alongside herds of antelope. Its dramatic landscapes are also home to some of the continent's most famous peoples and cultures, such as the Maasai and Swahili, who each have their own traditions. In stark contrast to their age-old ways of life, Kenya is also where you can find one of the continent's largest cities, its ever-growing capital, Nairobi. Along its open plains are freshwater lakes and forests, and the Great Rift Valley, which cuts through from north to south. Coupled with the beautiful Indian Ocean coastline, this makes Kenya one of the best countries to visit in Africa. Number 1. Egypt. Renowned for its ancient monuments and archaeological sites that include the Giza Pyramids, the Great Sphinx, and the Valley of the Kings, Egypt is unlike any other country on Earth. Once home to one of the world's greatest civilizations, history is on show wherever you go, with tombs and temples lying alongside statues and obelisks, all intricately carved. Located in the northeast corner of the continent, Egypt is bordered by the Mediterranean and Red Seas, with the Sahara Desert to the south and west of it. Running through Egypt is the Nile River, which is the life source of the country. While many people come to see its historical monuments or explore Cairo, just as many come for its fantastic Red Sea beaches.
Well, that was the African travel segment, and Samson has joined us. Hello, Samson. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Fine. Yeah, guys. Any surprises? Like Ryan, I know we only have 2 minutes, but just want to talk about it real quick. Nigeria's not on the list, but it's at top 10. So maybe Nigeria's number 11.
They could make it up there, really.
Yeah, they can't handle us. They can't handle. You know, they can't handle it now. So there's so much to do, and they couldn't fit it all into one video. You know.
So I was gonna say, if Nigeria was like on the list, we're topping everything.
Exactly.
We're topping everything.
Nigeria is the whole top 10.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. So, man, all our fellow African listeners are going to be shouting at their screens right now. Shut up about Nigeria already. We have takeover spirits now. Guys, that's the end of part 1. We'll be back. I did have a quick, at the top of part 2, we're going to do our One Must Go segment before we go into the African Spotlight, but we'll do that in part 2. We'll see you guys in a minute or two. And here to sing us out is What Other Song Better Than Africa by Yemi Alade. Enjoy.
Why? It's an African one.
By Amazon.
Yeah, me I like something so. This my African hands, them gon' love you. Yeah, my African lips, them gon' kiss you. Whoa, my African hips get down for you. Whoa, my African legs, them gon' run to you. any other day. Soldier come, soldier go. Your home now, your home. Irreplaceable. Anywhere you go. London, USA. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home. Anywhere you go. New York, Chicago. Nowhere be like Africa. Nowhere be like home. Biko Eruya Wayo. Wayaka. Karibu Kiti. Utapewa nini? Ayayaya Weruya Wayo. Wayaka. Karibu Kiti. Utapewa nini? Nini lele. Africa, Africa, yeah.
All right. Welcome to Beats African News Magazine Show Part 2. We are in the second hour of the show. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. We've had news, we've had African travel segment, we've had controversy. I mean, people writing Facebook pages, Facebook comments and facing 7 years in jail. What's that about? We've had Meghan and Harry in Nigeria. They had a successful tour of Nigeria. And now we're back for part 2. So we're going to be focused on the African Spotlight, Have You Heard, and our history segments, and several other little tidbits in between. But before that, I want to ask you guys a little sparring question, since I have all of you in the studio today. So, tell the truth. Only the truth, okay? Varan, this includes you. If you found a bag of money, okay? A bag of money. Let's say £1 million in cash. Would you return it? Okay. Yes, you would. But would you return it completely 100% with all the money complete? Or would you take maybe £10,000 just in cash, just a couple of bundles for yourself, put it aside, and then return the rest of the cash to the police or to the owners or whatever? What would you do? Brian, let's start with you. Tell the truth.
Yeah, I'll return it, because having that money, you always thinking about, what if I get caught?
100, you got 100%.
Yeah, what some finds out, so that alone will make me return it.
But you found the money already. You found it, and then you're returning it. It's just less a couple of bundles.
But I'll be expecting reward for
it.
So let's say 30%. It's not too much.
Okay.
So yeah, that.
I don't believe you, but okay. Claudia, what about you?
I would return it.
100%?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the right thing to do. It's not my money.
Dilly, what about you?
I'll return the money.
100%? Yeah. You guys are lying. All
Would
of
you
you are
return the
lying.
money?
I would return the money.
But you would take
less a couple of bundles. Come on. Like, they're already in their mind. They're already scared that they've lost $1 million. They're already scared. In their mind, they probably said, oh, you know what? I've lost that money. If you return 900,500 and what?
Let's say
they'll be happy.
Let's say you return that 900,000 something.
500 and something.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, thank you for returning it. And they give you out of that 900. Would
That's
you still
my
take
pay.
it?
No, the bundles are my finder's fee. Then what they give me is my reward. It's different.
That's not fair. It's not fair, because now you've taken money twice from this person.
Why did they lose their money in the first place?
They didn't just leave it there though.
So if you came upon a crime scene and there was money everywhere, bundles everywhere, and you called the police, would you not take a couple of bundles and put in your shirt before you call the police? Or you just call the police, come and take all the bundles away? If there was a crime scene and there were bundles scattered everywhere, would you just call the police? Police, I found bundles scattered everywhere. Or you wouldn't take a couple of bundles and put in your shirt.
Where are you going to put the
I'll
cash?
take it. I'll take it.
In your shirt. Thank you.
No, but like,
let's be realistic, guys. Come on
if
now.
there's like an unspecified amount of money, maybe.
Unspecified. So you found a bag of money, you returned the full bag. You didn't take anything. That's what you guys are saying.
But if there was like money that it's not like someone's, it was just like happened to be there.
It was someone's before they killed the person. They killed. So people are dead. There's money scattered everywhere.
It doesn't belong to anyone right now.
But then the money is like evidence, whatever they call it.
It would still be fair. It would still be fair to take something. You know, in Nigeria, there's something we call IWC. So,
thank you.
It's tax.
Thank you. It's tax. Anyway, viewers, if you think differently, please call us and let us know. The number is not shown on the screen right now because Baron has done something. but usually the number would be shown on the screen. So the number is 0141 530 2787, 0141 530 2787. If you found a bag of money, okay, would you return the entire bag complete to the police, or would you take a couple of bundles and then return the money? And let's be honest with ourselves here, okay?
Maybe take some and give it to charity anonymously.
Please, Charity. My name is Charity. All right, let's go. Now it's time for this week's African Spotlight. Every week we focus on a good news story from the diaspora or from the continent, on someone doing amazing things in the community. Well, today is about that time of the year again, and we are shining our light on the top 10 African billionaires on the Forbes list. We do that every year. It's been updated this year. So, like Kylie said earlier, it looks like the more things change, the more things stay the same. So let's hear about it. So the fortunes of Africa's wealthiest people have rebounded slightly in the past 12 months, reversing the decline in their fortunes from about a year ago, though they're still off their all-time highs. The 20 billionaires on the 2024 Forbes list of African richest are worth a combined $82.4 billion, and that's $900 million up from last year's $81.5 billion. All of that gain can be attributed to the return of Nigeria's Femi Otedola, who last appeared on the Forbes list in 2017. The biggest decline this year belongs to Algerian industrial magnate Israb Raheb, who was barred by a court in Algeria from exercising any commercial management duties at his company, Chevital. The biggest gain belongs to Egypt's Nassef Sawaris, who added about $1.4 billion thanks to a rise in Adidas shares. He owns about 6% of Adidas. And this year, South Africa claims 6 spots on the ranking, followed by Egypt with 5, Nigeria with 4, Algeria, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe each have 1 billionaire, while Morocco has 2. This list tracks the wealth of African billionaires who reside in Africa or have their primary residence there, thus excluding Sudanese-born billionaire Mo Ibrahim, who is a UK citizen and operates out of London. And Strivio Masiwa, who is a citizen of Zimbabwe who lives in London, however, appears on the list due to his telecom holdings in Africa. So, we'll just go down the list real quick and then we'll talk about it, okay? So, number 1, Aliko Dangote, of course, from Nigeria, net worth $13.9 billion, and is Africa's richest person, founded and chairs Dangote Cement, the continent's largest cement producer. Number 2, Johan Rupert and family. He's from South Africa, net worth $10 billion. Origin of his wealth, he's the chairman of Swiss luxury goods firm Compagnie Financière Richemont. Number 3, Nicky Oppenheimer, South African, worth $9.4 billion. His wealth comes from diamonds, metals, and mining, and is the heir to the De Beers diamond fortune. Number 4, Nassef Sawaris is Egyptian. He's worth $8.7 billion, and origin of his wealth is construction investment. He's an investor and a scion of Egypt's wealthiest family. Number 5, Mike Adenuga, Nigerian, worth $6.9 billion. Source of wealth, telecom and oil. Adenuga, Nigeria's second richest man, built his fortune in telecom and oil production. Number 6, Abdul Samad Rabiu, Nigerian, worth $5.9 billion, and origin of his wealth is cement and sugar. He's the founder of BUA Group, a Nigerian conglomerate active in cement production, sugar refining, and real estate, giving Dangote a run for his money. Number 7, Naguib Sawaris, Egyptian, worth $3.8 billion. Source of wealth, telecom. He's the scion of Egypt's wealthiest family, and his brother Nassef is also a billionaire. Number 8, Mohamed Mansour is Egyptian, $3.2 billion, and his source of wealth is diversified. He oversees family conglomerate Mansour Group, which was founded by his father in 1976 and has over 60,000 employees. Number 7, Koos Becker, South African, worth $2.7 billion. Source of wealth, media, investments, and entertainment. He's revered for transforming South African newspaper publisher Naspers into an e-commerce investor and cable TV powerhouse. Number 9, Patrice Motsepe, South African, worth $2.7 billion. Source of wealth is mining, metals, and mining industry metals. Patrice Motsepe, the founder and chairman of African Rainbow Minerals, became a billionaire in 2008, the first black African on the Forbes list back in 2008. Kai, that's the year you were born. And number 10 is Saad Reb Rab and family. They are from Algeria, worth $2.5 billion. Source of wealth is food industry. Rahab founded Cevital and served as a CEO for more than 50 years. He has now named his son Malik CEO in July 2022. So, anything to say about that? Or the rich just getting richer? Or anybody has anything to say about that?
Yeah, so it's quite strange that there's no African president on the list.
African
president on the list.
No, they're all African residents.
I mean like presidents.
Oh, presidents. They all have.
I won't mention names because
their billions are not official.
Yeah, the ones that rule for like 40 years, those ones. Yeah.
And they have billions, but it's not official. These are guys who are in industry. They have companies registered. They're floated on the New York Stock Exchange. You can count where their money is coming from. They have some dark money, allegedly.
Maybe.
Allegedly. They might have some dark money that's not accounted for, but this is one that is accounted for.
Allegedly.
Bruce Again, please. Allegedly. I don't want Jambo Radio to get in trouble. Clyde, what do you think about African billionaires and the list is getting richer every year?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to get richer. The poor get poorer.
Dele, what about you?
I'm just gonna say Nigerians are the top. There's like three Nigerians.
There's 3 on the top 10. There are 4 on the top 20, but 3 on the top 10.
It just shows that Nigerians are like hard working as well. Not to brag or anything.
Yeah, they're hard working, but they don't. All their workers are so happy. Their workers are doing great.
Yep. Very happy
people. Everything is alright.
That's a very questionable thing, you know. Like Dangote, for example, he's just like 20 billion.
No, 13.
And he has multiple people working for him, but these people are like getting minimum per day.
I mean, they have good salaries. I mean, people who are in top management will have good salaries.
Yeah,
we're talking about the workers on the
that's what I'm saying. Like, those are people like in offices, but the people who are like mixing the cement and all that, those are the people who make this guy's money. He doesn't do anything. He just chills.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the whole...
Right, okay, questions. Okay, number 1. What would happen if all our African billionaires created a super foundation to help improve rural infrastructure, health service, and education across the continent? They probably already have some foundations to their names. What if they had a super foundation and put all that wealth into it and went to the rural areas and really, built up the infrastructure, education, health services? What do you think will happen to the continent? That's number 1. Number 2, what would you contribute if you were a billionaire? So, once again, the number to call us is 0141-530-2787, 0141-530-2787. We love Baron so much. Call us if you have any opinions about this. What do you think about African billionaires? And do you think they should put their wealth together? Or no, they made their money fair and square. They should enjoy their life, enjoy their wealth. Their family should inherit, as it goes. Have their when the kids have weddings, just go crazy with the weddings. That's the time you really see their money coming out, when the kids have weddings and you're like, whoa, okay, we get it. You guys have money. Or do you think they should put it together in some kind of super foundation and really do great work on the continent? What do you guys think? And number 2, each person, what would you do if you were a billionaire? What would you contribute? Would you just live your life, enjoy your life, let your kids inherit, do your thing? Or would you give back to society, to your continent? What would you do? We'll see you guys on the other side. I'd like to hear each of your opinions, by the way, when we come back. But here is our guy, Raskimono. He has 2 songs on the list today. The first song of the night is Give Me a Little Sugar. What do you guys know about that? Nothing. Raskimono, Give Me a Little Sugar. Kali, I need water. My mouth is...
Stop that breakdance, man, and hold it. Yes, man. See them lying, political fusion. Oh, just see them looting. Police are shooting innocent people. Oh, what a pity that we city. Where
and they everywhere. Unemployed graduates roaming the streets. This world is full of cheats. Oh, what a smelly shit. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. Empty promise for the masses. Legacy of colonial masters. The sons walking and paying taxes. The money disappearing with no traces. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. See them flying from the sky, while I and I walk on the land. See them want I and I dead. Cause of I and I dread the head. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. Give me little sugar for me tea. Me no want no takeaway. Ooh, me no want no cake. Chill with. Ooh, me no want no cake. Chill with, chill with.
All right, everyone, that was us. We're back from our break. That was Ras Kimono with Give Me a Little Sugar. And so we were talking about African billionaires. We went around the top 10 Forbes list of top 10 African billionaires in 2024. And the question at the end of it was, what would happen if all our African billionaires created a super foundation and really invested in rural infrastructure, health services, and education across the continent? How amazing would the continent be if they did that? Are they obligated to? No. But what would happen if they did? How great would that be? And secondly was, what would you do? What would you contribute, would you, if you were a billionaire? Gonna start with Dilly. What would you do?
First question and second question.
Second.
I would do what they wouldn't do, which is to help the people. But to start something, because like, as they're all billionaires, they're probably thinking, who's going to start this so we could all join?
Okay.
I'll be the person who will start that, and everybody else
will
will
have
join.
to, because they'll want to. Oh, that's a very good idea. Kylie, what about you?
I feel like most people who are billionaires, the way they got there was by trampling over the backs of people less fortunate than them, because usually you pay your workers minimum wage.
Yeah, but the question is, what would you do if you were a billionaire?
The first thing I would do is not pay a fair wage to everyone that I'm employing to get where I am, and everyone that I'm like utilizing, all the resources I'm utilizing, make sure I'm paying a fair amount for them and not undervaluing anyone that works for me.
Perfect. Okay, good idea. And Baron, what would you do if you were a billionaire?
First, try to make life comfortable for the people in my community. You know, provide jobs. Try to eliminate poverty, because I think that's the first problem with people back home. So then also invest in infrastructure, the basic things. You know, roads. Honestly. Water, electricity.
But don't you begrudge the fact that the government should be doing that? You know what I mean? Sometimes when I hear people investing in roads, I'm like, but that's the government's job, you know?
Yeah, government isn't doing it. So someone has to do it. Someone has to do it.
It's more important that it's done.
Yeah. But then that just gives them leeway to just invest more money, because then they don't then obligate it, you know.
And then if you're doing it, then you expect some other areas, maybe like let's say for example the EFCC to do their job. So will someone also do it? Yes. Have they done it? No. So now what do we do? Yeah, let's go get him or her.
Yeah. Mine is always going to be a foundation. I've always said a foundation where I would give, okay, let's say I'm a billionaire, so I'll give about 30 million, right, in a foundation, so people can come with their problems. So I wouldn't do it myself. I would hire somebody. Someone's full-time job would be to listen to people's problems, evaluate the cases, which is real, which is not real, and then give out the grants. Does that make sense? Because people always come to you, I have this problem, I have that problem. You can't answer everybody all the time. So if you hire someone, you're paying the person, let's say £100,000 a year. Okay, so they're on a good salary. They're on a good salary. Okay, £100,000 a year. That's your job, is to sit down and listen to the people's woes this person has this, and then evaluate which is real, which is not real, and
Yeah.
then decide, okay, I'm going to help, give this grant, give that grant, and you dole out the money. You can come back to me for feedback from time to time, but you have the right, maybe even a panel of people, maybe 4 people, you know, pay them well, and then they have this money, this grant, which they can give out to people on a serious basis. I know it sounds a bit pie in the sky, because, you know, how do you trust the panel, and how do you know that people are not telling lies and all of that? But then if you listen to people yourself every day, you'll be overwhelmed by people's problems, you know. So I think that's what I would do anyway. All right, so moving on, shall we? Let's go to our next segment, and that is our Have You Heard segment, okay? Before we do that, we're going to take a quick announcement break, and we're going to do some announcements, and we're going to come back and do our Have You Heard segment. So, announcements. Are you looking for a job? Are you looking for funding and support to start your own business? Do you live in North Lanarkshire? That's places like Cumbernauld, Shotts, Wishaw, Bells Hill, Kilsyth, Motherwell, Airdrie, Gatcosh, Coatbridge, Muirhead, Steps, Croy, Moodiesburn, places like that. North Lanarkshire. Well, People Plus can help you. People Plus North Lanarkshire Working for Families program. And as here at People Plus, they're happy to support any of you people who are parents or members of your network that need their services. So they have brilliant opportunities for those who live in North Lanarkshire and would like to share them with members of the community. Okay, so how they can be of help. They have the Working for Families program, and they support parents who live in North Lanarkshire. So parents, if you're a parent and you live in North Lanarkshire, they can help you by preparing you for employment or assisting you on your journey into successful self-employment. If you're a parent and live in North Lanarkshire, they're happy to help you into employment or self-employment. They work around your schedules, as being a parent takes priority. They have various accredited training courses that they can fund for you and put you through. And this increases your value in the employment market. If you're on universal credit or other benefits, this will not affect your benefits at all. Also, if you've been toying with the idea of starting a business or doing self-employment, they're happy to help you fund it and support you into starting that business. If you already have a small business and would like more help, funding, advice, they can also support you. So, and for those who would like a full or part-time job or placement, they can support you, prepare you, help with CV needs, training needs, and job opportunities. So, summary of their info. People Plus North Lanarkshire Working for Families. What they do. For self-employment, you'll get a dedicated and experienced business advisor to support you with a range of self-employment topics, marketing, sales and pricing, business and financial planning with the focus on cash flow forecast, market research, access to finance, bookkeeping and accounting, HMRC, sourcing suppliers, and an access to a range of core and specialist business training sessions to suit your individual needs, and so much more. And then for employability, you get a dedicated key worker who will support and guide you through the process of finding suitable work, training and accreditation, customized support to suit your needs, support to write your CV, expert advice and techniques for interviews, including mock interviews, assistance with job applications, and help with job searches. To join the program, the eligibility is you must be a parent and you must live in North Lanarkshire. Contact peopleplus.co.uk or call the number 07814 061 565. That's 07814 061 565. This information will be available on the Jambo Radio Scotland network website as well, and Facebook pages if you need to get more information. People Plus North Lanarkshire are ready to help you. If you're a parent and live in North Lanarkshire, they're ready to help you. Just call them and they will help you. All right, now it's time for our Have You Heard segment. Everybody ready? So most times on the show we talk about, light topics, happy topics, positive things. But once in a while it's good to bring awareness to things that are going on out there in the continent, in the diaspora, okay? So today we're not going to we're just going to talk about something that is of concern on the continent, all right? So today we're asking, have you heard about the hidden costs of the EU-Rwanda mineral supply deal? Okay, so the EU and Rwanda have a supply deal going on. So let's find out some more. So the EU plans to secure supplies for Green Revolution from Rwanda. Their plans to secure supplies are likely to support smuggling of conflict minerals from DR Congo. As the Green Revolution revs up, the European Union has signed a deal with Rwanda that will ensure a supply of precious minerals needed to build clean tech, like solar panels and electric vehicles. What's not to like? As the European Commission described it after inking an memorandum of understanding back in February, the deal will nurture sustainable and resilient value chains for critical raw materials. That's on the surface. But all is not as it seems, because it turns out that Rwanda is a country that exports more than it mines. So where is it getting it from? Vast amounts of minerals like coltan and gold are smuggled from the war-ravaged Democratic Republic of Congo to Rwanda, where they enter the global supply chain. The racket has been extensively documented by United Nations experts reporting on the DRC war, a spillover from the Rwandan genocide, which has dragged on for nearly 3 decades. The outside world, largely ignorant of the widespread use of sexual assault to subjugate enemies and massacres that have killed a staggering 6 million people. There's no shortage of evidence that conflict minerals are not only fueling the fighting, but also tainting supply chains. So why is the EU, which has condemned Rwanda's role in the war, actively going after the spoils? The DRC should actually be one of the richest nations in the world, sitting on untapped reserves of precious metals and minerals, including coltan, cobalt, zinc, tin, gold, and diamonds, mined from Haute Ulele in the north to Katanga in the south. The overall estimated value of these minerals is a whopping $24 trillion US dollars. As the clean energy revolution picks up steam, eyes are on the conflict-ridden eastern provinces of North and South Kivu, where most of the country's 3 key minerals, tin, tungsten, and titanium, are extracted from coltan, needed for everything from small electrical components to turbines, and they're mined there. These minerals are mined in the mayhem of a war featuring more than 100 armed groups, and hostilities between the DRC and Rwanda ramping up since 2021, with each country accusing the other of supporting militias. Unable to restore peace, DRC President Felix Tshisekedi called upon fighters to rally around the M2 against the M23, this is a militia, 2 years ago, bringing together a motley crew of local defense and armed groups under the umbrella of the Wazalendo, Swahili for Patriots. The role of the Wazalendo, untrained and traumatized by previous brutality, adds to an already toxic brew of national and ethnic rivalries. The prime objective of this war is to gain access to the mines, he said. The DRC has a system for ensuring supply chains are free of conflict minerals, okay? It's called ITSCI, the International Tin Supply Chain Initiative. Set up by industry actors, the OECD declared in 2018 that the initiative was 100% aligned with due diligence recommendations on mineral supply chains. But in April 2022, British NGO Global Witness accused the ITCI of contributing to the laundering of conflict minerals, child labor, trafficking, and smuggling in the DRC. Insisting on anonymity, an activist says that the miners are paid $2 a day to go underground like animals, frequently breaching government rules that they dig no deeper than 30 meters, extracting the minerals with shovels, pickaxes, and bare hands. As well as being docked a day's pay each month as tax, they're forced to slave 1 day a week without pay for the Wazalendo fighters. Global Witnesses COP says that given the evident gaps in the ITCI tracing system, there's a high risk that the EU could end up sourcing minerals that are smuggled and could be connected to armed conflict. It's a system that really doesn't work, he said. Okay, so it's a serious topic. We're not going to dwell too much on it, but it's a serious topic. So, Rwanda is trying to go with clean hands. So look, we're supplying. We have a deal with the EU, and we're supplying the EU minerals. But Rwanda doesn't have that many minerals, so it hops over the border to its neighboring DRC, which has all the minerals. Okay, Rwanda is seen as a beacon of, after the genocide, their country is successful, it's clean, it's governed well, they're doing great, they're like a success, an idea of an African success. But that's all built on the wealth that is being taken from DRC, which is just sinking more into, all kinds of violations of human rights, child labor, everything, and the wars that are being fought on that end. So they finished the war in Rwanda, it's gone, it's over, genocide is done, they said sorry, they've built a museum where they remember the genocide and never again and all that stuff, great. But in DRC, it's ongoing, 30 years past. We don't talk about the DRC war, we talk about the Rwanda genocide and how it happened and how they're sorry. Nobody ever really focused on DRC war, which is not ended, it's still on, and all different militias trying to get their piece of the pie because they are sitting on so much reserve. They have gold like to spare, and everything in your cell phones, every cell phone you use, there's an element in every cell phone you use that comes from the Congo. So all our phones, all of us who have phones all over the world, there's an element in our phones that you can only find that element in the Congo. Based on that one element alone, DRC should be like the greatest country in the world, like the most balanced, wealthy, education is fantastic, schools are wonderful, roads, everything should be perfect in the DRC. When you add all the other minerals that they have, they should just be unbelievable. But this conflict keeps on going on and going on and going on, and there's just no way to get out of it because this guy is upset, and then this militia, and then they form their militia because they've been offended, and then the groups come and they humiliate people by raping their women and raping their children and in front of them, and that continues, and then there's more repercussion, and then Rwanda is taking some, and then the EU is so it's a complete and total mess. And then even the workers don't have anything. They don't even at least treat them well. They don't have anything. They don't have gloves. They don't have anything. They don't have rights. It's a complete mess. Why the presidents can't step in of these countries, have a deal, some kind of bilateral deal, step in, make things work. Why can't they just make it work, That's your job as the government. I know it's difficult, all the different militias, control them. Maybe call on people from other countries to have a peacekeeping. But then when they see the amount of wealth there, even if you bring a peacekeeping corps there, once they see the amount of wealth there that can be extricated and stolen, even the things, the system, the ITCI system that they said they put in place to make sure that the blood minerals are not mixing with the correctly mined minerals. When you check it, there's mix-up everywhere. They're all mixed together. There's no way to actually seriously show that this particular minerals that are going to the EU are mined fairly, and these ones are the blood ones that are extracted by the militia and the slavery, the modern day slavery. It's all a whole mess. How can it be solved? And how is the EU going forward with this deal when they know that these inconsistencies exist? I'm sorry to bring down the tone in the room, guys. I know we're having fun 5 minutes ago, but sometimes you have to talk about these things,
Yeah, so these are real things happening in the world, or in Africa rather. You mentioned the bit about the leaders. I'm sure the leaders are in on it as well. So it's more of a selfish interest instead of seeing that they actualize or moving the interests of the people as well forward, or moving the country as a whole forward by having like a proper exporting these things properly and having and gaining money from it to develop the countries. So they basically probably just go have a deal in the back while they're getting money, and then have Rwanda come and then do their thing. So everything is selfish.
But how much money can you have? Like, how much money can you have? If we're not talking about people who are like, oh, the people are suffering. People, poverty levels are no. We're talking about people enslaved. As we're sitting all here in this room right now, the people in the mines right now, kids, children, with their bare hands being taken inside the mines to mine it.
And in their own country.
And this is not. We're not just talking poverty. Poverty is one thing. We're talking about enslavement. We're talking about war. We're talking about ongoing till now. Get your act together. It's been 30 years. Get your act together. There's no more excuses to be made. The world has reported on it. The UN has. People know about it. It's not hidden anymore. So why are we still talking about this? South Africa had the problem in the early days. You know how they treated the black workers? Now, black workers are proud miners in South Africa. I work in the mines. Yeah, they have their things. They have their this. They have their boots. They go in. They do a day's work. They get paid their wage. They come out. They have all the gear, Fine, they get there's some rumblings, for overpay, from time to time. But they've unionized. They've got it together. Yeah, most of the mines are owned by white South Africans. Okay, so there's still that racial disparity. But the workers are working a fair wage. They have their tools. They have what they need to go into the mines, and it's their choice. I want to go into the mine. It's my choice. I'm going to be a miner. It's not like you're forced to do it at gunpoint by the militia. Some of the mines in DRC now, Chinese people have come and put their own stakes in, and they're treating miners, crazy. Some of the Chinese miners crazy. What's going on?
I feel like they don't have enough motivation, like inside motivation. It's like everyone else is saying you should get your act together.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone that's involved doesn't see a benefit in changing the system.
What do you mean the benefit?
Like
If
the
they-
militias are like,
Yeah.
this works for us, so why would we change?
Yeah, it all goes down to selfish interest. So each faction have their own interest. So let us get as much as we can while it's still
You
there.
could get more. You
Yeah.
could get more and get better for your people if you love your people. And then Rwanda is just there pretending like, ooh, what are you talking about? And they're just siphoning, sending their own militia over the border.
Yeah.
No, they need another. Maybe they need another president of the DRC.
I don't think it's just the president. I think it's an entire upheaval of the government system.
Yeah, it's a system, and DRC probably has a potential to be like a real world Wakanda.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just I reported on this show about a year ago or a year and a half ago. There was some kind of hurricane happened, and this mountain opened, and gold literally just spilled out. Gold, actual gold flecks and pieces spilled out of the down the hill to the village. Do you guys remember when I reported on that story? And people were in the night were going with baskets and picking up and rushing it. Gold. That's how rich the DRC is. And then by the next day or 2-3 days later, the news was killed. All the news outlets that covered it, within 2 days, nobody was covering it anymore. Can you imagine gold spilling out of a mountain, people picking it up, and everybody's talking about, and then 2 days later, nobody's talking about it again. Nobody. There was complete media blackout.
Cover up, yeah.
What happens to those people? What happens to that gold? Why is there no follow-up? We've not heard anything since then. What happened?
The more people that know about it, the more people that want to come and try and take their share.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, I'm going to buy a ticket. I'm going to DRC this morning. I'm going to go and pick my own gold. I'm going with a basket. And after that, there's nobody talked about it again. All right, guys, I'm sorry to bring you guys down. Let's make you guys happy before the history segment, shall we? Okay. Here is Rat Race by the Mandators. We'll come back.
Here we come again in another style. This one is a rat race style. Here we come again, it is not just another song. Rat race style is a crucial style. We come in live and direct, just to make you feel angry. What is that last time assignment? Come and we listen to the lyrics. They say I'm talking politics, I'm singing reality, but the suffering of the masses. For my brothers, I'm feeling so right. Situation getting worse, only the power feels the pain. The fury falls on them. Don't close your eyes to reality. It's a rat race style. They might be make me so fast. In them a rat race style. They might be make me so fast. What is a rat race style? There's no hope for survival. In them a rat race style. They might be make me shiver. Oh, what a bad situation. Only the rich and the strong and patient survive. So if life was something that the money could buy, only the rich nation will live. You see that the others would die. They don't feel any guilty. They keep sending their cause for you to die. To make the world so hard for no reason every season. What a shameless race. Shadows where they really heading to. What a rat race. They might be making so fast. In them a rat race. They might be making so fast. What is a rat race? There's no room for survival. In them a rat race. They might be making shiver. Many people in the world are struggling for survival, trying to earn a living, but the pesos are not just too strong. The rich keep getting richer and the poor getting poorer. The light is getting hotter, the tension keep rising so high. Get so we have no strength. You better know now. We know them are guilty. They keep killing on the privileged people. Cha-cha, we surely set you free from this great tribulation. The wicked prove too strong, but still, them all will die. And either rat race there's nothing gonna take a citizen. In the rat race there's nothing gonna take no. What is a rat race? Only the fittest and the fittest survive. In the rat race from the century to the century. What is a rat race? Them men running round and round. Well, rat race, oh, rat race, oh, rat race, oh, rat race, oh, hopeless race. What is a rat race?
Hello, everybody. We're back. It's BB's African News Magazine show. Byron, I know you're ready with my drum roll. Of course you are. And now it's time for our favorite segment of the show, and that is A Moment in African History. I want something more exciting than the next one. I don't want this one. I want something like something really, incredibly exciting. How about that? Don't worry about it. So, what we do is every week, of course, we talk about a moment in African history from Africa, the diaspora, the Caribbean, the Americas, wherever there are African people or people of African descent, we will be telling those stories. And this week, we're doing something from Egypt. Hardly ever do Egyptian stories, but this one was so interesting. So what we're going to do is we're talking today about Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut, you know her? Hatshepsut. And she was the greatest female queen/king of Egypt. You'll find out why in a moment. And her story was almost lost to the sands of time. Okay? However, we have our friends at the royalty now, and we're going to hand it over to them, and they're going to tell us the story of, Kali, what is it?
Hatshepsut.
Brian, you got it?
Yep.
Hatshepsut. Yeah. Okay, they're going to tell us a story, so relax and listen to the story of, Kali?
Hatshepsut.
Thank you. Here we go.
Hatshepsut was born in 1507 BCE, 3,530 years ago, to her mother, the great royal wife Amos, and her father, the pharaoh Thutmose I. Very little to nothing is known of Hatshepsut's childhood, but her father would go on to expand the new kingdom of Egypt deep into Nubia, beginning a golden age, with the pharaohs at the peak of their power. Shortly after Hatshepsut turned 14 years old, her father Thutmose I died, and she was wed to her father's heir, Thutmose II, who was her half-brother, a common tradition in Egypt in order to keep the royal line pure. The two would have one child together, a daughter named Neferure. Neferure would grow up privileged and later serve in high office, but Thutmose II was disappointed. He needed a male heir. Unfortunately, over the next decade, the two would fail to have any other children, probably due to their close blood relation. It wasn't until Thutmose's secondary wife gave birth to a son in 1481 BCE that he finally had an heir, a boy who would become Thutmose III. This practice of having a secondary wife's child become the heir to the throne was actually very common in Egypt. Thutmose II's own mother had been a secondary wife. But for Hatshepsut, it may not have been an easy pill to swallow. Later in her life, she would make it very clear that she believed herself to be her father's true heir. Now, whether it was a fact that Hatshepsut was the true heir, or just something she said later to solidify her claim, is something that we'll never truly know. But it has caused some archaeologists to believe that Hatshepsut may have been the power behind the throne even during her husband Thutmose II's reign. In the Oxford History of Ancient Egypt, it's written how strange it is for Thutmose II's only major monument in Karnak to show relief scenes of his wife Hatshepsut alone. Her inclusion, and especially her inclusion standing alone, makes it undeniable to Egyptologists that she was already a major influence on the crown. Although we may never know for sure what the true power dynamics between Thutmose and Hatshepsut were, it wouldn't matter for long. Only 13 years into his reign, Thutmose II would die at the age of just 30, leaving his infant son to become pharaoh. But until he came of age, the kingdom would need to be led by someone else. This is where Hatshepsut's story truly begins. She would be chosen to become regent, but from the very start, she began to establish her own power. Inscriptions written by a government official begin to refer to Hatshepsut as Matkare, a throne name, indicating Hatshepsut's plan to become pharaoh. But it would take more than a name to gain true power. In order for her plans to begin to take motion, she would have to transform herself into the ruler she knew she was. She began to experiment with formal portraits of herself, which before her regency had only depicted her as any queen, with feminine garments and a female body. Now, she would show herself as a ruler, combining her portrait with a male crown, a false beard, or the traditional king's kilt and headcloth. But according to Egyptologist Joyce Tildesley, she wasn't trying to suddenly fool the masses into believing she was male. Tildesley says, to dismiss this as a serious attempt to pass herself off as a man is to misunderstand Egyptian artistic convention, which showed things not as they were but as they should be. In causing herself to be depicted as a traditional king, Hatshepsut ensured that this is what she would become. These portraits still show her feminine features, her softness of face, and her high cheekbones. This almost propaganda-esque campaign to make herself seem powerful and regal to the patriarchal ancient Egyptians seemed to work exactly as Hatshepsut had planned. By the 7th year of her regency, inscriptions no longer describe Hatshepsut as the queen regent of Egypt. She was now fully given the title of pharaoh and ruler. But unlike many other kings that came to power, Hatshepsut did not usurp her stepson and abandon him, choosing instead to co-rule, allowing him to grow up without the weight of the world on his shoulders. In reality, she was the dominant ruler of Egypt during this time. She handpicked only loyal officials for the most key positions in government, making sure that no one would get in the way of her ruling Egypt as she intended. Although most Egyptian kings established themselves through war and conquest, Hatshepsut decided instead that she would re-establish large trade networks that had been lost for some time. She also embarked on something rare for the Egyptians, a sea expedition. Hatshepsut famously built a fleet to cross the Red Sea, pointing them in the direction of the sunrise, thinking it to be the land of the gods. The journey is particularly spectacular when we see it through the eyes of an ancient Egyptian of the time. Egyptologist Joyce Tildesley states that the Egyptians were not particularly well versed in the hazards of sea travel, and the long voyage must have seemed something akin to a journey to the moon for present-day explorers. When they finally returned, they brought back riches for their queen and established yet another trading route. With the country at peace and becoming wealthier than ever, Hatshepsut began to use that wealth to build enormous monuments to the gods, thanking them for their favor. Over the next 20 years, she would become one of ancient Egypt's most prolific builders, restoring temples in Middle Egypt that had been destroyed by war and building new temples of her own. In Karnak, she built enormous twin obelisks, standing over 100 feet tall, the tallest in Egypt, with one still standing to this very day. But like many pharaohs, she would save the best for her royal tomb. Deir al-Bahari, meaning Holy of Holies, is considered to be a masterpiece of ancient architecture. Made of limestone and designed against a cliff wall, its entrance is guarded by enormous statues of Hatshepsut, who, even after all this time, is still using the tactic of portraying herself as king. Inside, art shows her father, Thutmose I, naming Hatshepsut as his true heir, solidifying her claim to the throne for all time. But the tomb isn't just for her. Surrounding the complex are other private tombs, made for the people who were instrumental in Hatshepsut's life. In 1458 BCE, after a reign of peace and prosperity, Hatshepsut died at the age of 50. Thutmose III would go on to rule over Egypt for another 32 years, and would go down in history as one of the greatest pharaohs of all time, with no doubt that Hatshepsut's mentorship allowed him to grow into the man that he became. But during the last years of his reign, Thutmose would betray her, and deface or destroy nearly all of her monuments. But why? For thousands of years, Hatshepsut and her legacy were lost to history. It wasn't until the 1820s, more than 3,000 years after her death, that she was rediscovered. A man named Jean-François Champollion, who is known as one of the fathers of Egyptology, was able to finally decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs using the Rosetta Stone. This rough translation allowed ancient Egyptian writing to be understood for the first time in over 1,000 years. When he visited Hatshepsut's tomb, he became incredibly confused. I felt somewhat surprised at seeing here, as elsewhere throughout the temple, the renowned Thutmose III, adorned with all the insignia of royalty, giving place to this Hatshepsut, for whose name we may search the royal lists in vain. Still more astonished was I to find upon reading the inscriptions that wherever they referred to this bearded king, in the usual dress of the pharaohs, nouns and verbs were in the feminine, as though a queen were in question. Hatshepsut's image that she had so carefully crafted, depicting herself as a king, was the same thing that kept her in the dark after Thutmose's betrayal. So, of course, the question is, why would Thutmose do this? Many historians simply assumed that Hatshepsut must have usurped the crown from her stepson and deprived him of ruling during her 22-year reign. For decades, Hatshepsut was portrayed as this evil, conniving stepmother who stopped her noble stepson from taking the throne. But the more they found, the less this narrative stood up. Thutmose III was given control of Hatshepsut's armies, which would be a strange thing for her to do for a resentful heir. It indicates goodwill between them. Additionally, Thutmose kept all of her religious and administrative leaders intact after her death, and it was only in the last few years, after the death of those officials and a glorious reign himself, that Thutmose had begun to deface her monuments. It's now believed that Thutmose III's heir, Amenhotep II, who became regent while his father was an old man, was the one that defaced Hatshepsut's monuments, hoping to secure his own line of succession and erase her from history forever. He was almost successful. Her rediscovery in the 1800s has allowed historians to see how remarkable her reign truly was. She rose to power in a society ruled by men, using personal relationships, the power of propaganda, and self-promotion to be crowned the king of Egypt during a time of great prosperity, and her reign only made Egypt more powerful. I believe historian James Breasted said it best. Hatshepsut is undeniably one of the first great women in history, the queen who became king.
All right. Do you guys enjoy that? Like, you learn every day on this show. Did you know about her before, Baron?
No, I didn't.
Now you do. Now you do.
No, I do.
The power of propaganda. I love it. And her stepson now, wow.
It wasn't him, it was
so her stepson's son.
Yeah, her step-grandson.
They would have, and she would have been wiped away as well, if not, for the busybody French people coming to discover Egypt thousands of years later. But thank God for Wanderlust. Guys, we've come to that time of the show. It's the end of the show, but a quick one. We can't go without our proverb. Real quick proverb before we leave. Proverb is a way Africans express themselves, how we pass on knowledge, expressions, wisdom, and we just want to say it that way. So today's proverb is Pan-African, actually. It's from all over Africa, and it says, The best way to eat an elephant in your path is to cut him up into little pieces. The best way to eat an elephant in your path is to cut him up into little pieces. What do you guys think that means?
The best way to tackle a task is piece by piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One step at a time. All right, guys, that's it. No quiz today because we've run out of time, but we'll be back with a quiz next week. Anything else to say, guys?
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Say.
I just want to say, Hilda, if you're watching, hi.
All right, that's it, guys. We'll come to the time of the show. We're back next week with more excited interviews, spotlights, history, music, and everything in between. Until now, it's bye from me, bye from Clali, bye from Baron, bye from Dilly, and we're back next week, 11 o'clock Monday, to see you through your Monday morning again. Until then, stay proudly African. Bye.